Hey guys, welcome back to Writing with Ms. Maxie. Guess what? It's a special day because we are moving on to step 7. Everybody say step 7. Yay. Let's open up our books to page 8 and 9 to see how far we've come. Okay. Let me plug up my document camera so you can see with me. So here's Herschel. Hi, Herschel. And he zoomed all the way through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6 is what we've been working on this week, our revision. And we have been making our writing the best we can. But now we are ready to go on to step 7. Step 7 to edit. It says, write time, edit your writing, check your spelling, grammar, and punctuation. All right, so that is what we're going to be working on today. Let's review our I can statements and the materials we'll need for today's lesson. Okay, I can. Identify when capital letters are needed. I can edit a mentor text for capitalization, and I can capitalize words correctly. Let's turn in our books to page 30. Page 30. It will look like this. You'll see lesson 1, writing to inform, paragraph, step 7, edit, and you'll see this little 30 in the bottom corner. So the final step before you publish your paragraph is to edit it. Editing means to make changes or correct mistakes. Today, we will focus especially on editing for capitalization. Let's read right here. Let's put our tracking fingers on the word when, and you can follow along. When you capitalize a word, you write the first letter in uppercase. The other letters are lowercase. Remember to capitalize countries, mountains, states, and parks, holidays, months, and days, people or groups of people, and words that begin a sentence. Let's think of some examples of these words that we need to capitalize. So starting with a country, we could talk about the United States. So we would capitalize the U and the S for the United States. We could talk about a state, Texas, a park, maybe Trinity Park. Okay, what about a holiday? We just had Halloween, maybe Thanksgiving. A month, this month is November, so we would capitalize that. And days, today is Thursday, we'll capitalize that. People or groups of people. My name is Miss Maxie, so I capitalize the M in Miss and the M in Maxie. We've been learning about the Oglala Lakota, so we capitalize the O and the L. And words that begin a sentence. So let's look at our instructions. It said, when you capitalize a word, and they capitalized the first letter of the first word, when, a capital W. All right. So can you guys think of more examples? Can you think of more countries, mountains, states, parks, holidays, months, days, people, groups of people, or words that begin a sentence that we would capitalize? Take a minute and whisper your answer to the screen. Okay, you should have come up with some more examples of things we can capitalize. Let's move on and read part of Jaden's draft below. I'll clear my annotations. Here we go. Mentor text draft. Every August, the Oglala Lakota people in South Dakota have a celebration. They dress like their ancestors. And let's read our instructions. Number 1, circle the capitalized word that names a month. Number 2, underline the phrase that names a group of people. And number 3, capitalize the words that name a state. So let's take out our pencils. We'll go back to number 1. It says circle the capitalized word that names a month. So look in the mentor text and find the month and circle it. You can pause the video if you need to. And when you're done, come back. We'll go over it together. All right, so you should have circled the word that named a month. And it was right here, August. And Jaden has already capitalized that, so that's good. Let's read number 2. Underline the phrase that names a group of people. So pause your video, underline, and come back. When you're done, we'll go over it together. I underlined the Oglala Lakota because that's a group of people. And Jaden has already capitalized it, so we are good. Let's read number 3. Capitalize the words that name a state. So pause your video, underline this, find the state and capitalize it, and come back. When you're done, we'll go over it together. So I found the state right here, South Dakota. I saw that it was not capitalized and it should be. So I wrote over it a capital S and a capital D. It's kind of hard to annotate, but yours can be better. All right. So now that we've learned about which words or phrases should be capitalized, we're going to do some practice on page 31 in our books. So open up to page 31. It says rewrite each sentence. Capitalize words correctly. Hint, reread the list on page 30. So you can go back to this list of words that need to be capitalized to help you answer these questions on page 31. Number 1, number 4, but the first one. The Powhatan people lived in Virginia. We can do this one together. I remember from our list that if we're talking about people or groups of people, we should capitalize it, and also states. So the Powhatan are a group of people, so this one should be capitalized. And Virginia is a state, so that should also be capitalized. So I'm gonna rewrite my sentence right here in the blank. Oh, and also the first word in our sentence needs to be capitalized. So capital T, capital for the name of a group of people, and capital for our state, Virginia. All right, so you can pause the video if you need extra time to copy this down. And then we'll move on to number 5. Number 5, how do you use resources? So take a minute and try to figure this one out on your own. see which words need to be capitalized, pause your video, write your sentence, and then we'll go over it together. The only mistake I found here was the first word, how. So this is what my sentence looks like for number 5. Again, you can pause the video if you need more time to copy this down. And we'll move on to number 6. Number 6, people in South Dakota celebrate Native Americans Day. Hint, which words or phrases are proper nouns? All right, so take a minute and you can check the list on page 30 again and rewrite this sentence the correct way. You can pause the video and then we'll go over it together. I capitalized people because it was the first word. People in South Dakota is a state, so I capitalized that. Celebrate. Native Americans are a group of people, so I'm going to capitalize that. And Native Americans Day sounds like a holiday, so I'm going to go ahead and capitalize the day too. All right, so take a minute and finish editing, finish writing your sentence, and then we'll move on to number 7. Number 7, how did Ed learn about the Powhatan people? Okay, so pause your video, fix your sentence, and come back when you're done. We can go over it together. I capitalized the first word. Ed sounds like the name of a person, so I capitalized his name. Powhatan are a group of people, so I capitalized Powhatan. And that's it. So again, you can take time to pause the video, finish writing your sentence, make sure all the capitalizations are there, and then we'll move on. Okay, so hopefully you finished writing all of your sentences on page 31. And now I want you to turn to page 34 in your books. Turn to page 34, and we're gonna check that we capitalized words in our paragraphs correctly. And also check your spelling and punctuation. So making sure you put a period or a question mark or an exclamation point, and that you have capitalized everything you should have on your draft. And remember, you can always check back on page 30 to see all of the things that need to be capitalized. And that's it. That's all I have for you for writing today. So I'm glad we got to learn about capitalization together, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow.